has such bad luck, Sophia! Please, help yourself to champagne and first aid.
Samara Weaving is a staple of the horror genre at this point. It's not a matter of if she'll star in a new horror movie, it's always when. Because there are few actresses that have shown the genre as much love as Weaving, and fans have returned the favor. Now she's taking on a less flashy role and allowing the actors around her to really shine. Borderline rides the line between more than just damaged personalities, and skirts so many genres, it almost takes on the same quality of its stalker lead. And as such, it may prove difficult to find a big audience. Borderline is a tale of a man, Duerson, hopelessly in love with a pop star named Sophia, resulting in him stalking her and routinely making trips to her home. Thankfully, Duerson is caught, but when he escapes from a mental asylum, his true plan can finally be set in motion, with the end goal being a marriage to Sophia. As you can guess, things do not go well for anyone in Sophia's orbit, as Duerson proves to be quite persistent. And there's an oddly likable aspect of him that makes the events all the more confounding as a viewer.
Put the gun away. What kind of way is that to treat our guests?
I was obviously on Sophia's side, but I still found myself rooting for Duerson due to his charisma. Samara Weaving's Sophia is a self-obsessed musician who comes across a bit dull due to the personalities surrounding her. She's more of a straight man here, allowing the others to go crazy around her and accentuate their wonderful performances. It means her role is a bit less showy, but she still rocks it. I was also very impressed with Eric Dane, who plays Sophia's bodyguard. The narrative falters a bit when his family gets involved, but Dane does a great job through it all. The introduction between he and Duerson is the best scene in the film and sets up the narrative brilliantly. Ray Nicholson is absolutely phenomenal in Borderline, to the point where I feel like this is his coming out party. He plays Duerson as someone who is so lost and delusional, yet still manages to be likable. Ironically, I'd even say there are shades of his father's performance as the Joker present. There's a phenomenal showcase moment for him that reminded me of a shot from Strange Darling, where we see Willa Fitzgerald go through a range of emotion. Just like that scene, this feels like the first time we're truly seeing the real Duerson, and it's a showcase for Nicholson's acting ability. Alba Baptista comes into the movie like a freight train, with her character Penny maybe being even more unpredictable than Duerson. While he clearly plans things out, Penny acts on impulse and can change her mind in an instant. She feels like even more of a threat than the massive cousin played by Patrick Cox, due to her being an absolute psychopath. There's a moment with a bit of fire that cements her as one of the craziest women I have ever witnessed in cinema. There should be a mental ward named after her. Writer-director Jimmy Warden, who is also Weaving's husband, makes his directorial debut here and does a decent job. I'm not entirely convinced that the film needed to be set in the 90s, as it could practically be modern day with how it's presented. Cell phones always complicate horror films, so I understand that aspect. Just seems like the 90s-ness could have been a bit more at the forefront. There are some dumb moments, like the power going out and being explained away with a simple, "They were supposed to fix that weeks ago," or the random duet between Weaving and Baptista that goes on way too long. It's stuff like this which really holds it back from being truly great and makes for an uneven experience. Borderline doesn't quite reach its potential, but it still has a lot going for it. Wonderfully psychotic performances from Nicholson and Baptista really give this film its identity. The opening is absolutely spectacular and sets up the movie perfectly. It just loses that momentum and struggles to get it back outside of short bursts until the ending, which does manage to work as a great bookends to the chaos, which is why I'm giving Borderline a 7 out of 10.
You put a priest in a box?
No, I put a pastor in a box. We're Protestant.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.